Welcome back to the curse of
Arigal.
Aragal?
Arigal. There's an A.
Aragal? Aragal?
Kazimir.
I like my spellings better.
Casimir? Welcome back to the curse of the Vistani encampment. To the curse of poor Alexi.
That place is cursed.
Cursed.
So, who remembers what happened last time? All right, fine. Four-sided dice it is.
Everybody
Zug saved a girl, and we were all surprised.
I almost threw her back in.
4. It's a 4. You're up, babe.
What's up, buddy?
Tell us what happened.
Last time, we began on canoes. Zug was on his own canoe, and he split off from the group to investigate a strange other canoe with a third party we weren't familiar with. He witnessed them throw a moving burlap sack into the lake. He asked no questions, immediately dove after the sack, rescued the contents before knowing what they were, and turned out it was a young girl. And he chatted with her for a while and kind of like left the scene. The rest of the group caught up. We found out that she was important in the Vistani pecking order, at least she claimed to be. And then we found out that the man who threw her overboard was under some kind of magical hangover influence. We brought him to the lackey, where he was taken away by the guards, though he was recognized as someone's like uncle or something. Then we went to the Vistani encampment, which was like southwest of Vallaki, south or something, nearby, where we gave back Arabelle to her father. Her father and his brother were whipping a poor boy named Alexei, who turned out to be in charge of protecting Arabelle. They rewarded us, not with a rug, but with a chest of gold, and told us that the folks sharing a camp were dusk elves, pointed out the leader, and we decided to go chat with the leader, who was like into Sindra. Not because she's also an elf, probably just for some other weird reason that we're about to discover.
Sindra's into a lot of weird stuff. She's like haunted and things.
Yeah. Correction. One of the guards recognized him as his aunt's friend. That's what happened.
I mean, uncle, you know.
Not the same. We've lost Kane. He's a giant.
Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like a giant camera lens with like a big sign through it.
My graphics driver crashed. Sorry.
Okay. All right. Well,
you might lose me entirely.
Well,
Kane, no, he got sucked
keep doing your thing. Keep doing your thing.
Good thing you are completely useless to this campaign. All right, so you guys all approached a house at the base of the hill on the southeastern perimeter of the camp. And just to put you back into context of where you left off, standing quietly in front of the house, bathed in the warm light of its lanterns, there are 3 sullen, gray-cloaked figures with angular faces and black flowing hair half hidden under their cowls standing there. Upon the party approaching the house, the characters move closer. The 3 figures, cloaked figures, all proceed to reach for their hoods, pull their hoods down, and they all look towards Sindra with mouths agape in shock and awe. Not horror.
Because I'm so
That was off, but not horror.
Perplexion.
perplexion?
With perplexed
I don't know if perplexion is a word.
No, it is not.
It's not.
Are you
Oh.
sure?
Yeah.
She has a perplexed complexion, and therefore perplexion.
Perplexion
perplexed.
is a word. It's a noun, condition or state of being perplexed.
According to
Definitions.net.
definitions.net, not dictionary.com.
Perplexion. Whatever.
Okay, according to wordsimmadeup.info.
Words are technically words if the meaning is understood. So,
Did we understand?
No.
Oh.
yes,
We had to use a different word.
it's true.
Okay, looks of
Perplexion.
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 Perplexion of their faces.
And as Sindra and the party approach
Oh.
the house, we lost Nate.
Lost
I did
Nate.
enable a waiting room. Hold on. Let me unenable it.
There he is.
No, that's not him.
Oh,
That's
it's a
why I
student.
enabled the waiting room.
Oh, Kane's gonna be a new face today.
Yeah, that is why I enabled the waiting room right there. So we'll leave the waiting room. So basically, one of the guards looks at you, Sindra, and says, "What? Where?" And one of the other guards nudges him and he says, "I believe that is a wood elf." And the first guard, who couldn't make out any words, lets out like a sigh and picks his jaw up off the floor. And he says, "How can we help you?"
Oh, are they unimpressed?
That's all the info I'm getting from them yet.
Mhm.
All right. I guess I would probably be like, "Yep, I am a wood elf. My name is Sindra. This is my my group of friends.
My
wondering if we could
groupie, my
chat with
uncle.
I'm
Follow
gonna
me
be
around
picking my nose
sometimes.
right now when she mentions us.
Looking at it.
Flicks it, like flicks it away. Lands in Kane's face. Oh.
No, Kane doesn't notice.
Tastes like salted black licorice.
Hermes goes after your boogers.
Okay.
Nasty.
Sorry, continue forth. What did you say?
I would have, introduced my friends. Would they have said anything like introduce themselves?
Nope.
Other than the nose picking, no.
Pretty
Alright.
standard issue for us as a party.
Can I ask how you all came to guard the Vistani here in this camp?
The first guard says, "We do not guard the Vistani. We guard our own. But when they call upon us, we answer."
All right. What do you guys want to know from these peeps?
What does Sindra want to know from them?
I want to know if they have any
Take us to your
wine.
leader.
What?
Take us to your leader.
Okay. Yeah. Can you take us to the leader of the Dusk Elves so we can chat with them?
They part from the door and they point to the house, and they create a path to let you go by.
All of us or just Cinder?
All of you.
Cool.
Follow close behind Sindra.
Yeah.
I guess we're going this
Yeah.
way now.
So you enter the hovel, And as you enter in, the hovel is a decorated vestibule. And there is a comfortable looking room beyond with a fireplace. There are wooden statuettes of elven deities that are standing in cubby holes along one of the walls. And on the opposite wall, there's a tapestry of a forest hanging. In the middle of the room, sitting on a large chair alone, is a single dusk elf sporting a cowl in his own home.
It's a cowl again?
Hood.
Hood.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Batman's mask is technically a cowl.
All right.
That's why Batman's the best.
Like a sexy
Oh,
latex cowl. Bodycon cowl.
All right.
Nice. Does he notice us entering at all? Or is his back to us?
He, as you enter, he slowly turns his head in your direction. He notices Syndra first, and his facial expression stays similar, except for a slight gleam or glimmer in his eye. And as the party begins to filter in, he stands up to greet you. And he says, I have not been visited. No, that's a bad accent. Hold on, we're gonna try that again.
I liked it.
I'm
It's
going
like
for
almost British.
it's gonna be British-esque, but more. I kind of want. Let's see if I can do it. I'm
Yeah.
gonna try.
Yeah.
I have not been visited by adventurers like yourselves for quite some time. Yeah, we'll work on it.
Make him sound
Pretty
like
Like, no, he's not like
a wood elf.
kind of want to do like a little Sir Attenborough thing. We can. I can't do it. I'm not even gonna try.
Camp we can find ye.
Wood elves entered my door.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
It is in their nature.
The wild wood elf enters the lodge.
With a ragtag group of groupies.
Her team looks quite dumb.
Mhm.
Aw.
David, that's not nice.
Burn to us.
How can I be of assistance to you?
Is he older looking?
It's hard for you to tell.
Okay.
How wise does he look? Everyone knows that people's age is correlated to their wisdom.
Mhm. Very wise kid.
On a scale of 1 to 10 of wise, he
Yes.
looks like a 7.5.
Okay, he's respectably
All
wise.
right.
He's seen a few episodes of something
Of
culturally
Game of
significant.
Thrones.
And he
All right.
furrows his brow at you.
Okay. I would say, hi, my name is Sandra. This is my groups. Can we ask how?
Hello, Syndra.
Oh,
And hello to Syndra's group.
Good evening.
That's us.
can you tell us anything about how this group came to be here? I know that Dusk Elves are on the rarer side in these parts.
He says, yes, it is quite the unfortunate tale. Can I offer a beverage?
I'll take one.
Is it wine?
Do you have one?
He nods and he goes to his little kitchenette area, and he grabs a few glasses, and there is a small cask, small-ish, medium-sized cask, adorning his kitchen that is labeled Red Dragon Crush.
That's the good shit.
It is different than what you have been drinking up until this point, which has been
Slop.
But that's the bad shit.
Freaking slop.
Purple
Damn
grape.
it, I knew it.
Yeah, but this is actual wine.
Oh,
yeah.
wow. He's got the
So
good.
actually, you learned visiting the Wizard of Wines that there are 3 different types that the Wizard of Wines produces. They produce purple grape mash. That's their lowest grade, the one that they are massively producing. Then they have Red Dragon Crush, which is a higher grade and slightly more expensive. And then
Crushed
they
by real
also,
dragons.
they also have a champagne that is very rare and very expensive, and you have not come across it to your knowledge.
Or more
Do I
red
know
wine
of it?
Hmm?
Do I know of it? I know
Yes.
there's 3 tiers. Do I know the
Yes.
name of it?
Yeah, you would have seen lots of glasses in the Wizard of Wines while you were there that did actually have the names of the different wines on them. Yeah, so you would know that.
Okay.
And he pours a full glass of wine for each member, including Ez.
I don't know.
Oh, this is rather generous. Thank you.
You're-
You drinking it too?
Yeah, you would.
I've taken it.
I'm gonna swirl
He
it
already
around,
had
give it
a
sniff.
glass of wine in front of him when you entered his house.
It's already sucking it down. What a lush.
And he encourages the group to sit down in his living area, which does not have quite enough seating to probably accommodate everyone. So someone might have to sit at the table or pull up a chair from the table, or maybe knowing Zug, sit on the floor. Maybe a pillow underneath your butt. I don't know. And he puts down the glasses of wine on the table. And he says, yes, a sad story indeed. Not long ago, well, I guess, depending on what long is, according to your species, and he sort of eyes the humanoids in the group that are not elves. We were in some form of combat. Strahd left few survivors of my people. And after his armies had all but annihilated us, he left us to the mercy of the Vistani, who bore us to the valley of Barovia, and we have lived here since. So I would say that the Vistani have done my people a great kindness, and therefore, when they ask of us, we answer. Excuse me.
Sorry, can I ask a clarifying question?
Sure.
He said they were attacked, not in Barovia, and then the Vistani brought them to Barovia?
No, he said the Barovian Valley.
Okay.
So Barovia is the land, and then there's also the village of Barovia, which is an actual city, but you guys are in Barovia. Valaki is in Barovia, everywhere is in Barovia. So where you guys are now is the Valley of Barovia.
Okay. So he's there. Okay. And then so the Vistani brought them here.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah. So the Vistani, so Strahd's armies basically killed a lot of his people. They surrendered, and Strahd left them to the mercy of the Vistani. And the
Gotcha.
Vistani brought them here, and they have cohabitated, which would also start to make sense why Esmeralda told you that she believed that those Vistani were Strahd's spies.
But these dust elves wouldn't appreciate that, obviously, if they knew.
Mm. You don't necessarily know their motives.
Hmm.
Got massacred by Strahd.
Mm. The man who brought me here and welcomed us into his clan, he passed away more than a century ago. I continue to live among his descendants, and whilst unfortunately, in my opinion, these modern Vistani are neither as noble nor as enlightened as their forebears, I do not wish to press the issue. The truth is that I will outlive it all anyways. And with that, he pulls down his cowl to reveal two nubbins where he should have ears. He is missing his ears
Like completely?
completely.
Like smooth sailing? Like a crow hole in his side of his face?
Oh, he's a crow elf.
With an examination, it would appear to not be a birth defect because of the cleanness of how his ears are gone.
Oh.
Scars.
Is he a were-raven?
Mm.
Is he aware of his ears?
Yeah. So I think Ramis will take this as like, I guess, some kind of racism towards his kind. Like, I'll just like, did they remove your ears when they left you for dead in the valley?
He says, no. My ears were taken quite a while after that, actually. He nods his head and he says, that is another sad story.
By the Vistani.
No. I had a sister long ago. My dear sister, Katrina. She is sealed in the catacombs below Castle Ravenloft now. My fellow Dusk Elves, we knew the truth about Katrina, that she was in fact the concubine of the devil Strahd.
Harsh.
And he's like having trouble recalling this story, even though you can tell that this is something he's thought about a lot, but still mustering the words is difficult for him. We knew that if we allowed Patrina to become Strahd's bride, that we would all be in even more peril than we already were. And with my leadership, we made the decision to execute her. Strahd obviously was unhappy. And as punishment for depriving him of his bride, Strahd butchered all of the women in the Dusk Elf tribe. And my ears were removed to punish me for instigating. Ultimately, I do not regret my decision, but I know that Patrina has repented for her sins. She still speaks to me in dreams. She's told me that years of guilt and regret have dispelled all evil thoughts from her mind and have cleansed her tortured souls. I believe her. I believe Strahd corrupted her at one time, but I also believe that she can be rescued from her eternal damnation. And he leans forward and he says, I digress. What is it that you wish to seek? You just unloaded a lot.
Yeah, that's super heavy.
It's kind of a heavy dude.
I seek a refill.
Oh, that's in character.
He
You've
pays Zug
shared a great deal with us. It sounds as though you've been through far more than any of us have.
I have also lived for quite a long time.
I feel as though there's a significantly better than average chance that we share a similar perspective on Strahd.
He says, yes, well, the only reason a group of adventurers like yourself would be coming to visit me is because you were looking for a way. And I know a way.
We would be interested in hearing more of this way.
Way. As much as I would like to say that I want to see Strahd gone for good, and that would be satisfactory to me, it would not. To see the devil who has tortured my kind, my sister, myself, in the way that he has, to see that devil put into the ground where he belongs would not bring me the satisfaction. It is not enough. My sister's spirit languishes in the catacombs. She has repented for her many sins, and I yearn to free her. That is the only way that I can be truly free. If I am to disclose certain information that has been mostly brought to light to me by her, I would also need assurance that you would help me in my final task.
And what would your final task be?
There is a way to restore her to life.
Kane looks flabbergasted.
Necromancy. temple's
I
magic.
know of no safe way to do this.
There is a temple. The temple holds the secret to breaking Strahd's pact and freeing Barovia from its curse. I know it is hidden there.
And where would this temple be?
It is to the south. It is a dangerous road, or I would have already gone myself. But I am not fit to take on this task alone.
Kane rolls out his map kind of in his hands as though he's like a lost boomer on a highway.
It's like, there is a mountain to the south and a lake that I can see, though no other significant landmarks seem to be mentioned here.
Mhm.
Would you by any chance be able to point them out?
Yeah, so you guys have the map open? So at least a couple of you? Okay.
Yeah, I actually did pull it out to stumble my way through that last line.
So
There is some neat little things tucked away in nooks and crannies. There's like a little tiny cave on the map down there.
mhm.
It's like hard to find roads amongst everything, but yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. So he draws his finger down. Can I look at yours real quick? Because mine is like marked differently. He draws his finger down Solanka Pass, marked on the map.
Everything's down Slinka Pass.
Mm-hmm.
Solanka Pass, I think we've been warned, is
Super
dangerous.
He
Yeah.
draws his finger down Solanka Pass, and he gets to an intersection at the peninsula of the forest. And then he traces his finger back up towards, you'll notice on the map, this teeny tiny little black dot that looks like a cave.
Ah, I saw that.
And he points there.
Oh, in the woods?
Mm-hmm. It's not in the woods. Can you zoom in at all?
No, because fucking Discord.
It's like there.
Oh, shit.
See it?
I don't see it.
In Mount Gekis. North of Mount Gekis.
It's east of Mount Gekis.
I would call
It's
that
northeast.
northwest.
Northwest, sorry, west. I can do directions. Northwest.
I don't see it.
It's really hard to see. It like blends in with the topography lines like perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
The one next to Luna Lake?
So if you look at Solanka
Yeah,
Pass,
go to the right of Luna Lake and then
Yeah.
go down ever so slightly, roughly on line with the bottom of the lake where the little river is, and just go east, like 10 or 15 tiles, 10, toward the M in Mount.
It's like there's a
Oh
big
my
black
god,
dot.
that is the smallest cave in the world. I'm pretty sure that could go for a hole.
Well, realistically, like if you look at the other things, like that hex is a quarter of a mile. That cave is fucking huge on the grand scale of things.
yeah, but so is the canoe.
I think a lot of this stuff's not like really
I don't
to
think it's drawn to
scale.
scale.
Yeah,
It's a fucking Barovia.
the
map.
representation.
It's
Their
close.
scholars aren't as accomplished as The scholars of the
They're
sword.
cartographers.
Cartographers are a form of scholar, my friend.
All right, anyways. He points.
He's cool.
And he says, yes, there are many secrets there. I believe that this is the place that Strahd forged his pact with evil powers and discovered how to be a vampire in the first place. I've been spying on the temple, but I need adventurers to help me survive its perils.
Do you believe that Strahd chose to become what he is today?
Most definitely. He revels in it. I also believe that in addition to the temple holding the secret of breaking Strahd's pact, that this temple also holds the secret to bringing the ancient dead back to the living.
Well, if it was capable of causing Strahd to gain the horrible powers which he has come to possess, then I dare say you may be on to something.
I cannot stand to bear the dreams of my sister's torment any longer. I would be inclined to divulge more information and eventually attempt to enter the Amber Temple. Should I have the trust and the knowledge that you would also be willing to help me with this final piece.
What's in it for us?
I want to roll an insight check. Like, is this guy like grieving so much that he's become reckless? Like, is he slightly crazy? You know, because like if it gave Strahd his powers, that's like probably not a good form of energy. 17, that's like plus a lot.
I guess you could just roll there.
19.
So with your insight check of a 19, can you tell if he is crazy and or paranoid? Nope.
No, we can't tell. Or no, he isn't.
You don't know for sure. I don't think there's any way that a 10-minute conversation could tell you with certainty whether or not someone's crazy. They could be a good actor, but
What could a 19 insight check tell me?
a 19 insight check means that he either is not or his acting is immaculate.
Okay.
I just want to put on the table that I don't want you to believe he's not. I want you to believe you don't feel like he is.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Can I roll insight on his charisma? I'm just kidding. Okay.
You sense that he's like a tiny bit unhinged in the way of like he's very devastated and sad by what happened, and he's willing to make a deal, and his deal is that he wants this, which is potentially, I mean, you don't know what that entails.
Right, so he is he's so bereaved that he's unhinged. That's what I was trying to figure out.
Yeah, like he's really sad and he's tormented, and you can see the tormentedness just from the way that he speaks, like that he's done, he's fed up.
How does he appear physically?
He's missing his ears.
He's missing his ears.
Oh, I know that, but I mean, like, does he look like he's struggling to like walk around? Is he
No.
spry at all? Is he old for an elf?
His physical condition looks pretty good. He does look old-ish. Like I would pin him as middle-aged looking. He definitely looks older than Syndra. But he doesn't look old. He doesn't look like Kane old. He is tall and thin.
Lanky.
What was his name again?
Casimir.
Casimir.
Casimir, what has prevented you from taking this journey yourself?
Said it was dangerous.
Without the help of others,
So he's just
I
going to send other people to do it, or is he going to go himself?
would not be able to survive the perils.
Would you consider joining us were we to agree to assist you?
Most certainly, though it might be wise for you to get more of a lay of the land before we attempt that journey. He could tell by when you pulled out that map and didn't know everything on it that you're not familiar enough with Barovia yet.
Is he basically trying to tell us that maybe that's a quest too high a level for us?
Yeah, he's saying
didn't
he's,
say
he's
that.
calling us gumshoes, man.
He didn't say that, but the DM implied it.
Yeah. We've run into quite a few of those, actually.
I think, yeah, very, very well. Though, what kind of guarantee or promise do you need of our intentions so that we may learn what you know about Strahd?
He puts his hand on his chin and he says, "The journey is long and riddled with terrors. We would get to know each other quite well on such a journey of such length. Trust is built through action. I have heard too many words be broken."
So he's saying we shouldn't go yet, and he'll only give us the information when we're ready to go.
Well, so he's giving you as much information as he feels is sufficient. But what he's kind of pointing to there is that, like, I would learn to trust you or not on the trip.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He doesn't have any way to trust you. He's just telling you this is what he wants, and your word is not going to be enough to him yet.
Very well, though we need to earn some faith in you as well, my friend. We do appreciate the wine.
Yes, I understand. He says, "My life has been riddled with misery and harrowing. I hope that that is at least enough of a lead to know that my alignment is pure."
Could you help us better understand the lay of the land, as you have mentioned, so that we may help you on this quest? We are searching for the mad wizards right now, in fact.
He purses his bottom lip and he says, "Yes, I think it would be wise for me to point out some areas that could be of use to you to learn more about."
Quests.
And he
Tell him
opens,
our quest log is full already. I would like to do some of these quests.
he opens the map
We all open the map.
And he says, show me where you have traveled so far.
Well, we've arrived in Barovia in its namesake, the village of Barovia. And we have traveled here from Valaki.
And he squints his eyes for a moment and he looks at Rumis and he says, how did you wind up arriving in Barovia?
By cart.
We got mixed up with the wrong countess. Yeah, horse-drawn carriage. We took a left at the fog.
He chuckles. He says, I presume to understand that you mean this was the Vistani's doing.
Yes, we were trying to help an unfortunate band of Vistani.
He nods and he says, carry on.
With where we came from.
Yeah, with like,
Where we've been.
We have visited the Wizard of Wines. We have visited Valaki, the village of Barovia. We were on Lake Zarovich shortly.
Oh,
Uh,
the Order of the Silver Dragon.
we've heard of this thing called the
We
Order
were told basically where to go for that. They told us where to go.
Kresk. Was a direction we might head.
he says, I do not know much of Kresk. They are quite fortified, but do be careful. He says, okay, well, it sounds like you have visited a few places. I believe it would be in your benefit to visit this town. And he points over to Kresk and he says, there is much knowledge over there. 'Tis deeply religious. Could be useful for when we make our journey to the Amber Temple. He says, I also think that it could be beneficial to visit the Order of the Silver Dragon. There could be ties over there in the ruins to something that could be informational as well.
Where is he pointing when he says the Order of the Silver Dragon?
To there.
Okay.
Mhm.
Well,
actually not
we're
far away from
right
you.
there, right?
You are still up here.
I wish we had the benefit of this interaction you're getting, Ryan. I don't know what you're pointing at.
Hold your
Feel
map up to
free
the
ask
camera.
your party member later when I'm done,
Conversing.
Our characters saw it too.
No, I'm holding up the map like in the back of it's facing everyone else.
How'd you get the map? I was holding it.
I made a copy while you were sleeping, old man.
There should be a river marked the Luna River, close to where you guys are at.
Yeah, so do you guys see that village to the left of the words Luna River?
It's actually not a village.
But do you see that?
It's a collection of buildings.
Yeah. It's like around there is where he was pointing.
Silver Dragon folks. Looks like there's some ruins down that river as well.
Mm-hmm.
You must be very zoomed in. Open original. Oh, that's so much better. Yeah, there are some ruins. Or maybe not ruins.
You gotta zoom in real good to see those.
Yeah, but those
I
could
don't know,
be-
man. That looks like ruins to me.
that could just be a semi C shaped not ruin.
Yeah, sure. That's true.
Okay. Ramis nods.
Yeah. So that's mostly where He's pointed to you.
We're not far from the Order of the Silver Dragon.
We're also
No.
not far from the Mad Wizard.
Mad Wizard is north across the water, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, but we're
Supposedly.
kind of equidistant right now, as far as I understand.
As stands up and she says, "We very much appreciate your counsel. I have visited some of these areas and I am aware of what they entail. And she squints her eyes towards Casimir. And she says, "You feel comfortable dealing with blood magic?"
Knew it.
Yeah, it did sound shifty. Anything where you're resurrected dead people. It's never.
No, it
worth
never works out well.
No. That
Ever.
always goes south. Certainly it wouldn't go south here in Barovia, where everything is lovely.
Huh.
This is gonna be perfect.
Guys, we're just gonna do some blood magic. It's gonna be fine. Okay.
Yeah.
That's definitely a Charlie line.
So- you guys, you guys, blood magic?
Guys, just some blood magic.
Come on.
He says, "My dear, do you know what lies in the Amber Temple?" And he slows down and he says, "Do you have a dead relative who has been visiting you in dreams for over a century, planting things into your mind, telling you of secrets hidden in dark temples for centuries?" And she sort of makes a face at him that conveys her distrust. And she says, "I do not. But my priority is to part with the monster. Your priority seems to be to resurrect your relative who has been dead for some time. I am not sure that either are possible. But to me, you sound like a liability." And he says, "You might be right, and you are wise. But you must also understand that there is nothing more for me. There is not. I have been forced to live here for centuries amongst leadership that I no longer agree with, being tormented by a past that I can never escape, seeing my people's bloodline cut off at the hands of Strahd. There is nothing more for me. Freeing this realm sounds like a noble deed, but I am done with noble. Noble no longer suits me. I admire your youth. I admire your ambition. But I also have lived long enough to know that those things come and they go. And he says, I know many secrets. I have been spying for quite some time. I am happy to provide information, but I am also asking that you assist in my last important endeavor. I don't know if it's even possible, but I know that I cannot live any longer without at least trying. If it is impossible, or if the price proves to be too high, then I must live with that. And Des sort of leans back, lets out a sigh, and she says, we will think about it. And she gets up, she picks up her glass of wine, she chugs down the rest. She probably had at least half of that glass left.
Reese looks horrified.
And she puts her wine glass back down on the table and she says, thank you very much for your hospitality. The wine was quite good. We will be in touch. And she gets up and like starts walking towards the door. And she's just expecting that the rest of you are going to come with her.
Reese will turn back and be like, that was most dramatic. And he takes another slow sip of his wine.
And has made sure to have all of his wine throughout the conversation at a pace that one might expect from a normal human non-lush. And then sets his glass down.
We will consider your request.
Before we go, Casimir, a friend of ours is in a similar situation as your sister and seems to have fallen under the interest of Strahd. Is there anything that you've learned that we could share with her and her father so that the same thing doesn't happen to her?
Who are you referring to for my sake?
Esmeralda.
Arena.
Who's got
Irina.
speakers on?
Irina.
Arena, right?
Yes, but she is not Strahd's concubine as much as you know, but he's in pursuit of her.
He's been like
Yeah.
giving night visits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Casimir says, if he has put his mark on her, there is no redemption.
We were told that the safest place for her would be the village of Barovia.
Blackie.
If there's any, Blackie. Do you think is there any truth in that?
Based off of my knowledge of the area, Blackie or Krezg are the most fortified areas that Strahd does not have as much access to in this domain. So
Okay.
Probably yes.
All right. Thank you for that tidbit. I'll chug my wine and head towards the door.
Yeah. Farewell, adventurers, and think about what I've told you.
Remise will give a bow, places.
I'll be here.
Whiling away.
Pretty much. So are you guys gonna leave and follow Ez? Who's
Yes.
like,
Yes, I think we've all agreed that as both has her shit together, is reasonably powerful, and is trustworthy. Because if she's not, we're all boned anyway.
And is light on her foot. Sorry.
she has a wooden foot. It's wood.
That's why I said is light on her foot.
Oh, I thought you said lead on her feet.
Probably that too.
She's light on her feet. Yeah, she's quite buoyant.
Oh, she could swim across the lake so easily. Remise and Sindra may have been the last to exit and is kind of like hurrying after the party. Where do we intend to go?
I says, well, I was planning on visiting this area, and now that I have, I am quite done with it. She says, we would do well to make haste to visit this mad mage. That seems like a much more worthwhile endeavor.
Well, as if you believe that that is a worthwhile endeavor, I have no reason to doubt.
She looks at Kane and she says, for a man so old, you trust quite quick.
Well, I have been exposed to enough trouble in my day to have at least a vague grasp on when I'm facing it.
Don't worry, as I don't trust you.
She laughs and she says, yes, the difference between arrogance and wisdom. And she continues walking forward.
I don't think that landed how she thought, but
No.
let's go to the mage.
So as you guys are walking north out of the Vistani encampment, Vistani/Dust Elf encampment, Ez keeps talking to you, and she says, I could feel that there was something off when we were in the tent. I could tell that by the way that they were treating one another. This is not the way that Vistani punish each other normally. She's a Vistani, keep in mind. Like, she understands their culture quite well. And she says, this is not how we punish our youth. This is the behavior of corruption. I know that these are spies. They must be. And she says, and the fact that these elves are living with them does not bode well for them either. Maybe Casimir is telling the truth, but also maybe not. I don't quite know. Maybe once we are ready for that type of mission, which I would very much like to do, we will return and take him with us. And should anything go wrong, well, 5-1, I like my odds.
Yes, I think we can handle ourselves, at least nominally.
And you guys,
That's good.
the sour candy,
Oh,
it's so good.
it's so sour.
Is it
Which
really
one?
sour?
Which one is it?
Yeah, I got a lemon one, and that was an
Does
excellent
it
thing.
pucker your cheeks
Oh.
a little bit? You get
It
a
looked
little
like a-
pinch.
Pucker,
Yeah, those are good.
Flatworm.
It was
I like
longer than I
how-
was expecting.
I like how
I
it's
love your
basically
sex
sandpaper.
tape. What?
Nice.
You're welcome.
Oh,
Nice.
it's quite sour.
Good.
It's really good.
Some good shit.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. So Esmeralda's still talking shit. Onward.
Yeah, I guess we're going back across the old lake there, huh?
You know what I bet lies? Zug. Across the lake, there will be many foes. I promise you this.
Zug,
I've
you're
been
really,
promised that before.
you're really itching for battle. I could perhaps spar with you if you like.
Duel, 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 duel.
My axe is at the ready.
I'm ready. I'll
Un-
spar with
un-
you. It's a friendly
underneath-
sparring.
Underneath
Gotcha.
my breath, I'm saying 3, 2,
Oh,
1. Roll initiative.
I'm gonna let this happen.
Yeah, this is good. Ramis is
I rolled a
excited.
7 in my initiative. Would you roll, Josh?
9.
Oh!
I-
Before either of them are able to act, I'm sure Syndra's like pulls out a cigarette.
As like backs up towards Sindra, and as looks over at Sindra, she says, "Do they do this often?"
Well, it's probably going to become a habit, and I'll hand her a cigarette.
Okay. All right. So Zug has the higher initiative, and Zug will get to go first.
I will perform an axe swing
You're throwing an axe at him.
What? No, I'm just a normal slash at him.
You're not gonna just punch at him?
Oh, is this like a fisticuffs battle?
I don't. I
Yeah,
mean,
we
wanna
can do
murder
that.
I think
Yeah,
Bernice will be
that.
concerned if you swing your axe at.
Okay, unarmed melee strike.
Just goes in as old man with an
Cuts
axe.
Kane's head off.
Ah. It's an 11. I don't think that's gonna hit.
Does an
No,
11
actually,
hit
it
you,
doesn't.
Kane?
It doesn't.
No.
Oh,
Kane
Okay.
is unharmed by your punch. The old man taunts
Sidestep.
you with his big.
Ah,
gray
you can
eyebrows.
do better than that, Zug. Your old bones are getting tired, aren't they?
Kane
Kane gets to rebuttal.
casts suggestion
aw,
and suggests he
cheating.
take a nap.
Aren't you feeling a little tired there, Zug? Perhaps you should lie down and take a lovely nap.
Yeah,
It's
roll
such a
will
nice
save, Zug.
day in
Roll
the warm
your
sun.
dice. Roll your dice, dog.
I don't need to roll dice.
It's a will save for Zug.
Yeah.
Zug, you have to roll.
You have to
Will.
click your wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom saving throw.
What's the DC?
The DC is my spell. So
14.
I think you meet or beat. I think you got it.
Oh shit! The
Oh,
fight continues.
that just enrages me. How dare you tell me to take a nap? I've been
It
taking a nap.
enrages you to take a nap? That's not the Zug I know.
that you would suggest that I take a nap. I am ever vigilant. I am Zug with the mug.
Zug with the mug. And it is now Zug with the mug's turn to act.
Okay, I'm gonna
Just grapple him.
yeah, I'm gonna
Dance
grapple
off.
the old man.
Rap battle.
I want to pick him up and throw him to the ground. And I'm like, you take a nap.
Take a
14.
nap forever, old man.
What is the save on a grapple? What do you
Yeah,
what do you do?
I think we might need to look those. rules up.
Research time.
Yeah, I don't know how grapple.
I think it's a strength contest. I thought
Oh, well, I'm not gonna win that.
you
Can
might.
do a
actually.
Saving
You
throw
might.
to
I'm
resist
pretty
a
weak.
grapple.
What is the roll to grapple?
The bard is
Saving throw is DC is 8 plus your proficiency bonus plus your strength modifier. Wait, are you proficient in athletics, Kane? I don't think you are.
No.
So I think it's 8 plus your strength modifier.
So it's 8.
That's the DC. Oh, that's
So-
Zug's DC. No,
Zug's
hold on.
DC
Sorry,
is
sorry,
8.
sorry.
Yeah.
Zug's, you are proficient in athletics, right?
yes.
So the saving throw is 8 plus your proficiency bonus plus your strength modifier.
So 12 total.
Your proficiency bonus is 2 and strength modifier is 2.
No, my proficiency bonus is 3 and my strength modifier is 1.
Okay,
I'm
so
reading-
So
12.
8 plus 3 plus 1.
I was
What
just
does
reading it's
grappling
like
do
a
to you?
roll.
You are locked in combat with me. You cannot perform any attacks till you break free. I think.
One second.
The target must make a strength or dexterity saving throw its choice. On a failed save, the creature is grappled. So the DC for the saving throw is 12, set by Zug. So you
Right.
get to choose strength or dex, and you get to roll a saving throw and add your strength or dex modifier, whichever one's higher.
Okay. Instead, I'm just gonna misty step right out of it.
I think it's a.
It requires only verbal components. Does not require. He would have to, have completely stopped me from being able to move my mouth.
And then it's contested by a roll. So it's like his athletics check versus Kane's acrobatics or athletics check.
Sorry, what are you doing to escape it?
I misty stepped.
Okay.
Just literally disappear.
You can Misty Step as a reaction?
It's instantaneous. I do it on my turn, but I don't have to. I doesn't require me to do anything other than say a word.
But isn't it my turn? Because I'm
Yeah,
trying
that's
to
true.
grapple.
It's his turn, so
You
can't
are
do that.
you are rolling to. I mean, after you can and slip away, but
It's
you are
my
rolling.
turn to what? Or it's your turn to what? You
It's
grappled
my-
me. I thought you had me.
No, you have to roll against my 12.
To do what?
To not be
To
grappled.
find out if you're
It's your
grappled or
turn,
not.
you said.
And I
But
roll.
you can resist the grapple on your turn. So he is trying to grapple.
You're doing a saving throw right now.
Oh, you're trying to continue. Okay, I rolled a 20.
Okay.
Nat 20.
Okay.
So you don't get grappled.
That's it. Now it's not my turn. Now it's your turn. So now
Oh,
you can.
well, then I
Misty
don't have
Step.
to Misty Step anymore.
Exactly. Yeah.
I cast suggestion again.
You really are getting tired there, Zug. Perhaps you really should lie down and take
Get
that
fucked,
nap.
old man. I rolled an 8 or 19 minus 1, so 18.
Damn. No suggesting here.
Better decide what you're gonna do.
I'm gonna stomp on this old man's kneecap.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Oh, 23.
You hit me.
Oh, no.
Roll damage.
Oh
I'm
no.
gonna
Oh, no.
break your leg. 2 damage.
I still have more health than you.
He takes 2 damage.
Unarmed strikes don't do a lot of damage. That's
I'm actually gonna use my inspiration to instantly shatter your kneecap. I think that's how
Not
that.
how inspiration works.
Now you can
But
use
that's what-
inspiration to re-roll,
No,
which I don't think
I'll-
you need to do here.
I'll give the 2 damage.
that's a mighty blow.
That looked painful.
I think upon that, Ramis will say, "Friends, we have had enough."
King
He's gonna,
casts-
like, pat
King-
Ramis and say, "I think we should let this one play out."
King casts silent image, and he creates a pallet of 15 cubic foot of barrels of wine just on the edge of his range.
And he squints over and he's like, wait a second, Zug, that was quite a good blow, mind you, but is that not a lot of wine?
A pallet full of wine? What am I rolling for against?
I don't know. It's
Nothing.
just a pallet of wine.
You could just
It's over there.
roll your own insight check.
I'm gonna roll an insight check. Here.
You
Doug's
do
just like-
actually, you do have, yeah, it to determine if it's real, you would roll against my spell save DC, which is 14.
Ramis
Roll a 0?
That is. Wait, can you see that?
Yeah.
Oh, you see his rolls?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
you can see everyone's
Oh,
roll.
that's so
Yeah.
cool. I didn't know that.
You can do it too.
I rolled a 2 minus 2.
So, like, it is so goddamn incredible. Like, it is crystal clear. It is 4K red.
I look at that and I lose like all control, and I leap towards it. I'm ready to body slam this pallet of wine.
So silent image is like there is actually nothing there.
Yeah.
It doesn't create any
No,
physical barrier.
no.
I body slam the ground.
It's
So
a
Zug
mirage.
leaps towards the silent image of a pallet of wine and falls on the floor. Into
then I
the
get up.
dirt.
And I get up and I'm just I don't understand what's going on. Like there is wine like right here. Like a whole pallet full. And I'm gonna turn to the party and we're like, where is it? Could you see it? What happened to it? There's a pallet. You could have missed it. It was right here.
So I assume none of us see the illusion as well, or is anyone?
Everyone else can, yeah, everyone else would see it as if it was really there unless they beat a 14 on
I guess we
there.
would all roll to see if we saw it also.
The DM is rolling.
14 wisdom or
Um, Intelligence investigation check.
And Ez looks at Doug and she says, I have no idea.
Oh, nat 20. Ramis just chuckles to himself.
It
So-
does, however, an investigation check does, however, take up your turn to determine. So it's like it at least eats a turn for you to figure out. That's not real.
Just standing there for a full 6 seconds, like,
Wait a second.
Whose turn is it?
now it would be Kane's turn.
Okay. Okay.
I'm gonna spawn a mage hand next to Zug and just slap him across the face.
Insult to injury, man.
Skeletal flesh-like hand emerges out of seemingly thin air and whips quickly in the direction of Zug's cheek.
Roll attack.
Not an attack. I'm not doing damage. I'm just slapping you across the face to mock you.
And it strikes Zug in the cheek. And
Like
That
a-
feels nothing.
with the 5-pound force, which is actually quite light. So it kind of feels like
Zug feels a breeze and he takes no notice. He felt more of the force from the illusion of the wine. I am going to rush towards Kane to like
in a
body
fit
slam
of
him
anger
now.
and rage at being
I'm gonna just say, bring back the wine.
so rushes towards Kane. And what are you going to do as you rush towards Kane?
Body slam him with an unarmed strike.
Body slam with an unarmed strike. Okay.
20.
Roll. Okay.
Wow.
2 damage again.
2 more damage to Kane.
Wait a second. How far can you run?
How far?
Dude, that
Did
silent
you-
image was like 120 feet away.
Well, you
It would
wouldn't
have
been able to
taken
make
you
it there during-
multiple turns to get there and get back to me. I would see you coming.
I
Like,
didn't know that.
it's very far.
If,
Yeah, I don't
if I
think
knew it was
it's like
100.
how far away. the
Yeah,
site
I thought you said it was like on
As
the.
far as
the
one
edge.
It was on the edge of the tree line.
Oh, I didn't hear tree line. Well, you know what? I body slam you, and I grapple
how many
you,
turns
and I
do I,
give
how many
you-
turns do I get while he's running at me at maximum speed?
I'm gonna go ahead and make a call that it was not clear to any of us that this was super far. So it was 30 feet of run distance of turn.
30 feet of run distance. Okay, so just so we're clear, you're telling me that one of my primary traits is being ignored, that I have double spell range. I just want to be sure.
That
Just wanna be
none
sure.
of us knew.
You gotta tell the DM.
None
what
of
your-
us
what your
knew.
traits are.
Okay, I just wanted to be sure. Okay.
There's 5 of us.
if it's unbelievable that I am running up to you and body slamming, it was unbelievable on when you created the illusion that I ran all that distance.
No, no,
and
I'm
body
not arguing.
slammed
I
that.
just wanted
was
to
unclear.
understand for sure what the call was.
It was
You know what?
unclear.
I body slam Kane, and I give him 2 damage worth of noogie, and
Uh, Wait.
that's it.
Okay.
Zug proceeds to put his knuckles into Kane's head to
And then I will get up and bring up the old man and set him down and pat him on the head again.
Is it my turn?
it
And
appears as though Zug is attempting to make peace.
I magic missile him in the face. There you go. 3 damage to your face, Josh.
is it just straight 3 damage?
Yeah. It's to return the favor.
As
Okay.
Zug stands Kane up straight, Kane just like literally like 3 magic missiles shoot out straight into Zug's face, and Zug like
Another wind gust, and it's just like hitting me in the face.
popping him in the face.
Just wind.
And
Are you satisfied now, Zug? Did you get your exercise?
Yes, Zug is satisfied.
He looks over at Sindra.
He's like a golden retriever. If you don't take him for a walk, he'll urinate himself.
Especially with all this wine I've been drinking. We need to take a break every now and then.
you wear shoes in your own house?
I haven't taken them off.
That's weird.
Also, these are my house slippers.
Not me. Socks. I'm a civilized man.
Yes, clearly. A man of great sock taste. And so, with that, as sort of scans the situation and she says, well, that was fun. Maybe I can get in on the next time.
I
Roll
don't
initiative.
think we would stand much of a chance against you, Ez.
And she says, that is likely true. And she says, but it did look like fun. And she points to Zug and she says, I like your style.
I wink at her, like,
Okay, she's over that. She says, okay. Are we clear to keep going?
please.
Yeah.
So, you guys, after your scuffle, continue to head north. And you eventually make your way after, I don't know, maybe 30 minutes to 1 hour of walking. You make your way to the bottom of the lake, and the rowboats that you had used are still there.
So we're going north again, right? Okay.
Mm.
I'll. What? Was that a laugh?
Who's a sneeze?
Oh, I turned away for a second.
We can only see your feet now, Doug.
It's my most important part. My feet.
What? Okay, so the boats are there, and
I'll take my own again, of course.
Zug decides to hop into his own boat. And Esmeralda hops into a second boat and sort of beckons the rest of you to join.
I'll follow her into that boat.
The rowboats
join.
can fit 4 people, 4 regular-sized people, which the rest of you are for the most part. So you guys hop in the rowboat and you row your boats to the other side of the lake. This time you make it all the way across without incident. The water is still quite murky and dark. There is fog that is impeding your vision for quite a while, so you can't tell really on your journey where the northern part of the lake begins until you get close enough, maybe 40 to 60 feet, to actually be able to see the shore. And as you row and encounter the shore, you see that north of the lake, the trees begin their steady climb up the slopes of Mount Baratok. And its monolithic presence is oppressive at this distance. Excuse me. You climb out of your rowboats on the shore, and it is covered in wooded area for as long as you can see, east and west, and north. So north, you can see there's a steady incline, and there are trees and woods heading up into the mountain. And left and right are the base of the mountain, also covered in wooded area. The ground here is rocky and uneven, and it seems difficult to navigate. And even the wolves are avoiding this neck of the woods, and there are no signs of wolves to be seen. Whereas most other places that you've traveled, you could see signs of at least wolf behavior. As you get out of the boats, what do you guys want to do? Where do you want to go?
Kane rests.
Kane will rest.
Zug will take that nap now. It was a good suggestion.
I don't know if this is the time to rest, my friends. Remise is dragging a canoe on land.
Kane sits down.
Well, it may not be the time nor the place. However, it is unavoidable at this point.
Lays down amongst his little bundle of bags and cloak.
What
Take
time of day is it right now?
Right now, let's see. You guys took off in the morning, kind of early-ish. Made your way back down, hung out there for maybe an hour or two, made your way back up. 5.5 hours, probably around like 2 p.m.
Okay. Might be a little early for a rest, Kane. Sorry.
Kane does not change anything about what he's doing. He's resting.
Very well, the rest of us should go. Zug will keep Kane company. They may tear each other up.
I'll go
Will
too.
befit them.
Okay. So you are going?
So what do we recollect about the Mad Mage? She's just on the north side.
Yeah, and you've heard rumors of there being a mage who lives in the mountains of Mount Baratok above Lake Zarobich. You've not really heard any details more specific than that.
Start heading towards the peaks.
It's quite a large, expansive area. You can see the map. There's like a lot of mountain area.
But Mount Baratok is the name of like the entire
Mountain
range?
north of.
Or is it like a peak or?
Yeah, it's more like there is actually a peak. Yeah, there
Okay.
is actually sort of a peak over towards the, towards your east.
Assuming that's Mount Baratok, I can go towards that.
Mhm.
And look for signs along the way and, assume if I do anything stupid, Esmeralda will correct me.
As we walk, can I investigate for like any kind of tracks, human track?
Yeah, so you can investigate to see if you can find any tracks or anything like that. So eventually, after you guys are climbing towards Mount Baratok and going uphill, soon you climb above the blanket of fog that engulfs the valley, and there are dark thunderclouds rolling overhead. So you guys continue to search and look around. Looking at the rocky terrain, it's really difficult to see tracks because it is really uneven and rocky. You notice what look like elk tracks here and there, but you don't see anything that you would relate to human tracks.
Okay.
Yeah. So after searching around and walking through the woods, you encounter a few critters. You encounter a couple of elk, actually. You don't encounter any wolves, which is surprising considering how much you've been searching and looking around everywhere. Eventually, after maybe about an hour, like a couple of hours of walking around, observing the area, looking for tracks, and just hiking in general, you see an elk, and it is standing on a rocky spur about 60 feet away from you. And you've seen a couple of elk at this point, so this is not super surprising. But this one is staring directly at you and watching you with great precision. Most of the time, when you walk up to an elk, if it assumes that you're a predator, it will stand and it will be unmoving. And it won't even be looking at you. And then if you get too close, it will run away. This one is standing and it is directly looking at you. And it almost seems to like pierce into you.
Okay.
Only Syndra has noticed this stuff.
At this point, Syndra is perception is highest, so Syndra will have noticed most of the details about this elk.
Throw a rock at it.
No. Could I maybe do like an animal handling check thing and try to approach it slowly and cautiously?
Yeah, feel free to roll.
Did you roll an 18, you said?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so you start to approach it. You're walking at it. Have you told the rest of your group where you're going, or are you just walking, hoping that they follow you?
I would have like tried to snap my
Follow
fingers
her?
to get their attention and kind of point them towards the elk, and I would walk.
Yeah, sure.
I would watch her walk ahead and let her get, I don't know, like 20, 25 feet before following her.
Try 50. That's the range of fireball.
So Cinder begins to walk towards the elk. And as you walk towards it, you make it about 15 feet before the elk suddenly, abruptly, assumes the form of a man in tattered black robes.
Nice.
It's a homeless person.
Way to handle that animal.
His hair and beard are long, black, and streaked with gray. And his eyes, even at this distance, crackle with eldritch power.
Ooh.
Ooh.
And with that,
I knew it. I just looked at the time when she paused and I was like, I know exactly.
next time on
The Curse of Elkman.
of Elkman.
Eldritch elf.
Of the curse of the elk that also is a man.
Nice.
Elk man.